Hey everybody, this is Brian with Vermillion Enterprises. Today is June 13th, 2025. Gold is at 3,420, give or take, and silver is somewhere around $36.26, give or take. Things are popping off in the Middle East, again, unfortunately. So it could be kind of a hectic weekend in the way of what goes on with metals. We will see. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of fireworks today alone. I actually was not planning on doing a video today, but there's one premium change, not changed yet, but I think it's going to change today. So I wanted to make everybody aware of that. It's kind of a big one. So we'll definitely go over that here in a minute. And also, I was asked a question yesterday. We'll talk about once we get into the premiums that I thought was kind of self-explanatory, like everybody understood. But then stepping back and thinking about it from an outsider's point of view, especially considering that there's a lot of new people that have come into the bullion market that have had no or little experience with it. So we're going to answer, I'm going to talk about answering a question that I was asked yesterday afternoon. So, and that goes with it's regarding the premium. So we'll talk about that here in just a second. So I thought we'd go ahead and run a premiums inventory update video for you guys and gals, and go from there. All right, Tim. 1 ounce gold buffaloes. We are buying them at the spot price of gold, selling them at the spot price of gold plus 3%. 1/10 ounce gold eagles, we're buying them at melt plus 3% and selling them at melt plus 10%. 1/4 ounce gold eagles, we're buying them at melt, selling them at melt plus 7%. 1/2 ounce gold eagles, we're buying at melt minus 1% and selling at melt plus 3. I am unfortunately out of 1/2 ounce gold eagles. As we get them, we are putting them out. For whatever reason, they're pretty hot right now. So as soon as I get them, they're pretty much gone. But we will get some more and we'll get them out there for you guys and gals. All right, let's go to the foreign gold, Tim. All right, so we pay 98% of value, whether that's spot or melt, on foreign gold. As you can see, what we got out here, we got Maple Leafs, we got Philharmonic, we got a K-Rand. We also buy 1 ounce gold bars all the way up to 100 grams in size at 98% of spot or 98% of melt. You can see there's a 1 ounce bar, there's a 1 gram bar. So that's paid 98% of spot, that's paid 98% of melt. We got some foreign fractional gold out here. We got, what is this, a franc? Yep, rooster. And so, I mean, the older foreign gold too, like the roosters, francs, marks, ducats, sovereigns, pesos, lira, coronas, ducats, all that material we pay 98% of melt on. Modern fractional gold bullion, 98% of melt on. Raw pre-33 gold, 98% of melt on. And even some graded pre-33 gold is now at the 98% of melt. So you got some modern US gold here. That's a 1/2 ounce spouse coin. 98% of melt on that. Same if we had $5 or $10 gold commems issued by the US Mint, we would pay 98% of melt on that material. All this type of stuff here is going to go to the refinery and be burned. If we have it in the shop when you come in, we'll sell it to you. But other than that, as soon as I get enough together, I just dump it all. So I don't really sell it much here in the shop. It's mostly just set to the refinery because there, guys and gals, there is so much coming in. It's amazing how much is coming in. So now on that note, 1 ounce gold eagles, I'm saving those for last with regards to the gold. We are probably going to see a premium change, and it may even happen today on 1 ounce gold eagles. One of the majors who the other majors often focus their buy prices on lowered their bid to minus 0.5% this morning. So I'm going to hang in at spot minus 1% on my buy price for the moment. And you might come in either this afternoon or tomorrow and see it be spot minus 2% as my buy price. I'm going to hang in there right now. I can still make $17 a coin buying it right now at spot minus 1 point. So I'm going to do that, but if it trickles to minus 3/4 of a point or minus 1 point, which it very well may, given what this weekend possibly could look like with the show going on in Israel and Iran, because I imagine we're going to see an influx of gold given the new price bump. So I think the wholesalers and refineries are going to get even hit harder with gold given to the reignition of the Middle East conflict. So keep an eye on this. This could go to spot minus 2%. So don't be shocked if you come into the store sometime later today or tomorrow and on the board you see we're buying it at spot minus 2%. So I'm just trying to be explicitly clear with that. It looks like that's a real possibility for today or for tomorrow. As always, Vermillion Enterprises reserves the right to change premiums as the market changes. It's the nature of the business. So just keep that in mind. The reason why I wanted to make this video specifically is because this is one of our bigger selling SKUs. We buy a lot of these across the counter, so people have expectations with these. Understandable, I get it. That's why I just want to be completely transparent here moving into the weekend, what this could transpire into with the premiums on Gold Eagles. So just putting that out there. And this leads into the question that I was asked yesterday. So I was asked by a client, they didn't understand why premiums change. They understand why there's premiums, but not why they change. And I was kind of surprised by the question, but then, step back and think about it. Okay, I guess that, could be, difficult or not easily understandable by people, especially if they're new into the market. So why do we actually fluctuate our buy sell rates rather than just having a fixed buy price? Why don't we just buy Gold Eagles at minus 1% and sell them at plus 3% all the time? All right. Okay. That's a fair question. So I thought we would talk a little bit about that. So I would consider us a pretty typical LCS, local coin shop. So typical LCSs, people who buy and sell directly to the public, we are on the front lines of the bullion market and the coin market, but we move forward because there's these armies of big major players behind us that we rely on for selling and buying material from as we need to. So right now we're buying a just metric ton of silver coming in across the counter right now. It's amazing how much silver is coming in right now. Way more than we'll ever be able to sell across the counter in real time during these current conditions. So we have to be able to unload it somewhere, right? And so right now that's to a couple major wholesalers and refineries. And so what we can pay is dictated based on what they are willing to pay us for the same material. So if they lower or raise their bids, we have to lower or raise our bids in Congress. So because we can't just trade even with them, right? The store has to make a profit. And also we have to cover our operating expenses. And operating expenses are pretty bad right now. But and that's not going to get any better. Obviously, we know what's going on in the world with regards to inflation. So as, for example, with the Gold Eagles, the people that we rely on to unload our material and replenish our money from as we buy it across the counter lower their bids. Well, we have to be careful and make sure that there's still distance between what we're paying for them and what we're able to get out from the refineries or wholesalers from. So as they adjust their premiums, we have to adjust our premium. So that's why it's not just a fixed price. That's why we don't just pay X percent for Gold Eagles and sell at X percent, 365 days out of the year. That's why it just doesn't work that way in a true bullion setting. Traditionally, bullion markets operate on the 0.5 to 2% spread. So, I try to operate within that scope of range for the most part too. And right now, things are very fluid with the price of gold and silver and platinum, and therefore the premiums. And as this glut, the great silver melt, the great gold melt of 2025 continues, there's a lot more stress being put on to the refineries and the wholesalers, the people that I rely on to unload my material with. And as that stress increases, whether it's in the way of financial dollars for them to reallocate back to me, or whether it's time for them to process the material and get back out to market to where they can sell it, that may affect what they're willing to pay for it. And basically right now we see it with Junk 90. They lowered their premiums again yesterday. We're getting $1.35 to $1.50 back of spot on Junk 90, where it was 95 cents, $1 back just 2 days before. And it's because they're getting to a point where they're kind of like, I don't know if we want to buy anymore right now until we get caught up on what we already have in-house. So they had lowered their premiums to maybe kind of stem off the flow of the Junk 90 coming into the facilities. And to give you a scope of things, I know when a lot of people come and buy and sell precious metals or come into a shop like mine or a coin show, and it's a fairly small operation where a lot of people get their bullion from. But these majors and these refineries, these are huge, multi-billion-dollar operations. One of the outfits that I deal with, their vault, they have 2 forklifts inside their vault moving pallets of gold and silver. They have forklifts inside the vault. So I mean, you think about that. Two actual forklifts moving inside their safe, moving pallets of gold and silver. That's how big these operations are. And without those outlets, I wouldn't have a place to unload what we buy across the counter. So we really work in unison with those major players. And when I say we work in unison, I'm talking about LCSs, people who would do coin shows and that type of thing. So hopefully that kind of sheds a little light on the premium situation. Why I always say premiums can be as volatile as the price of gold and silver, and that's why. Because we really are, I don't want to say at their mercy, but we do operate within a function of how the majors or what the majors are buying. So does that make sense, Tim?
That makes sense.
All right. Anything that could be confusing there to people?
No, I'm still just picturing 2 forklifts driving around in a vault.
Yeah, moving pallets of gold and silver. That's the scope of the thing, which I understandably so. A lot of people who buy and sell gold and silver would never really contemplate. But yeah, that's how the back end of this industry actually works. So it's mind-blowing. There's so much money out there now in 2025 compared to whenever before. And so, it's just an amazing time in the industry. Someone made a comment somewhere, I don't know if it was on one of our videos or somebody said something to me. It's like, it looks like the days of the LCS are coming to an end. LCS means local coin shop or store, if you're not familiar with that acronym. I can tell you guys and gals, it's pretty good right now for LCSs. There's so much material coming in, and I don't see them going anywhere unless they just decide, hey, I hit my number, I'm retiring. The only thing maybe is I know some people that are leaving California right now and relocating just because they don't feel like it's safe there anymore. Other than that, I don't know of any external pressures on LCSs, other than, occasionally people close just because they get to a retirement age or a retirement number. A lot of LCS owners have a number. It's like when they hit that in cash dollars, they just are like, okay, I'm retiring now. because I can dump all my money in accounts that make 4% and live my life that way. So that happens, but just as an overall stressor on the industry, I don't see LCSs going anywhere anytime soon. So in fact, there's probably more going to be entering the market. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. Hopefully that answers some people's questions with regards to that. All right, Tim, hot seller right now, Palladium Maple Leafs. We got them in bulk, guys, selling them at $1,195. Didn't raise our prices on these yet, so get them while they're still at this price point. Someone made a comment to me the other day, I think it was probably in a video, maybe not directly to me, but that is the cheapest price in the nation right now, published priced at least. So with quantity, so I'm not sure about that. I don't actively search out Palladium bids, but if it's true, there you go. $1,195 per ounce for Palladium Maple Leafs. Get them while we got them. Morgan Silver Dollars. We got MS63s at 70, MS64s at 90, MS65s at 165, out of 66s at the moment. These are all PCGS and NGC graded coins, various levels of toning on them. They are all common date Morgans from 1878 to 1904, no 1921s, and they are all PCGS or NGC graded, not Annex, not ICG, not in-house grading. You will see various levels of toning on them and various generational holders. They are 100% random. All right, Junk 90. Here we go, folks. I had a number of people reach out to me yesterday via email, text, phone calls last night. Will you please start taking Zelle and Wire for Junk 90 again? I'm like, you know what? I will. It's the spreads have opened up enough there where it makes sense expending the labor on Junk 90. And a number of longtime customers that we've had that we've shipped Junk 90 to reached out yesterday, and I'm like, all right, I didn't realize this was such a problem for people, because to be honest with you, we're so damn busy here in the shop, I don't even notice things like that on the internet side. I mean, it's really like 70, 80-hour weeks every week in here, just processing material. I was in at 5:30 this morning just processing cold silver dollars because we sold out yesterday and wanted to replenish the buckets today. So, I mean, it's just so crazy busy. I didn't even realize that was an issue for people. But yeah, I decided, hey, let's go ahead. We'll start taking Zelle and Wire payments for Junk 90 again. We're charging spot minus $1 per ounce on it. We're paying spot minus $2 per ounce. Dimes, quarters, halves in stock. Yeah, so it's all 1964 and before junk silver U.S. constitutional coins, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so anything you want to add there, Tim?
Minimum order?
Minimum order, 30 face, just like always. I mean, we were shipping it, payment via cash and scrap gold when people would want to trade it. So it's 30 face minimum order. Just understand, guys and gals, I think where some of the confusion may come is the FedEx shipping centers. That's where these packages go for pickup. And when FedEx says that they've been delivered, we consider a transaction fulfilled on our end. I know some of those FedEx shipping centers may be too far away from your guys' residences and may not make it appealing for you to use that, but just to protect us for shipping, that is where all of our packages go for pickup. They will not be delivered to a residence or a business. They will only be delivered to the nearest FedEx shipping center. So anything you want to add to that, Tim?
It's literally called a FedEx Ship Center. That is the only place I'm sending it to. Yeah. Not a pack and ship, not a Walgreens, not a Dollar General, a quote FedEx Ship Center.
Yep. There was a theft in Central Florida at a Walgreens FedEx drop-off where a guy had his mint allocation delivered to, and the Walgreens employee didn't even check the ID of someone who was set there to pick up the package, and some thief went in there and picked up this poor guy's mint allocation. So yeah, I mean, that's where you just can't use those. So yeah, FedEx Ship to Center, and sometimes, guys and gals, unfortunately, they're far away. from where you may reside, so it may not work for you. But that is how we do our shipping now. We just had too many losses going to residences. All right, generic silver. I figure, well, hell, if we're going to do junk 90 with Zell and wire, let's do generic silver too. Right now we got 1 ounce bars. We got 1 ounce rounds, 5 ounce bars, and 10 ounce bars. 5 ounce bars I don't have a lot of. Got quite a few rounds and 1 ounce bars at the moment, 10 ounce bars. We pay spot price of silver minus $1.50 for generic silver, and we charge the spot price of silver for it. So if you're interested in any of it, come on in, reach out. We'll be happy to help, and we will take cash on that. We will take scrap gold on that. We will take scrap sterling silver flatware on that. What am I missing? Zelle and wire transfers on it. We did stop categorically taking personal checks, folks. That process was just becoming too much of a headache. So no personal checks on anything anymore. That did stop about, a month ago or so, Tim?
Almost 2 months now.
Mm-hmm. There's too much of a headache dealing with it. All right, off-quality silver eagles. We buy these at the spot price of silver, and we charge the spot price of silver plus $1 per ounce. These are going to be coins that have milk spots on them, surface abrasions, colorization, scruffiness, this overtoning on them. This material that we just do not consider retail friendly. Now, if you do want retail friendly solid 8 tubes of silver eagles, we got those. We buy these at the spot price of silver plus $1 per ounce, and we sell them at the spot price of silver plus $3 per ounce. That's our solid 8 retail friendly tubes of silver eagles. That means that each coin in the tube will be the same date. There will not be milk spots or surface abrasions on them, and they will be considered retail friendly. If you guys and gals bring silver eagles into the shop to sell and they are not retail friendly, they will be kicked off to the off quality bucket. We do go through them and check them out before we buy them, so just keep that in mind. If you go through your tubes and start seeing milk spots on them, they're going to be kicked off to off quality. All right, coals. I'm going to keep my price at 27 buy and 28 sell. $1 spread on coal silver dollars. These are all random. Morgans and Peace dollar. They're bought randomly. They're sold randomly, folks. And we're buying them at 27, selling them at 28. That is the spread that the majors operate within. I'm within a quarter or 50 cents on both sides of what the majors buy and sell these for. So I'm right in that range. I love coal silver dollars. They're one of our best sellers. They, they are a staple in the precious metals industry, and I want to buy a shit ton of them and sell a shit ton of them. So we are doing that. I have not melted coal silver dollars yet. I don't think I'm going to have to, because that is one thing the demand is still very strong on, at least for us. And so I haven't had to melt any of those. I've melted just under 10,000 face of junk 90 between the beginning of this week and last week. I have stopped that for the time being. Stop the melt. And it is what it is. But if the flux of 90 coming back in across the counter jumps up again compared to what we're selling for, we'll have to start melting it again, guys. That is the reality of it. The business has to always eat. There always has to be positive dollars coming in this side. We don't operate, no business operates successfully on sentiment. It's all operates on the bottom line. It's just the way it is. It's not that I'm some Grinch or some curmudgeon. I am doing what the rest of the industry is doing. It's just I'm vocal about it. That's the only thing. And so I'll get to play the villain there. But I'm okay with that. So, but I haven't had to melt coals yet. I don't plan on doing that. We're blowing through those here in the shop across the counter, and we're going to hang on to melting junk 90 for the time being again. But like I said, if we get influx, I'm going to burn them. All right, so we do accept cash as payment, wire transfer, Zelle, as always, as we always have, and scrap gold and sterling silver, scrap gold jewelry. So you got 10 karat, 14, 18, 22 karat gold jewelry. We do buy it at 90% of the value, or you can use it as payment at 90% of its value towards the purchase of stackable precious metals. A lot of people take advantage of that. And sterling silver flatware, hollowware, tableware, sterling silver rounds and tea sets will pay you 90% of the value. What determines the value? The weight of the material, the purity of the material, and the price of gold or silver at the time of the transaction. So if you're interested in any taking advantage of that program, please reach out to the shop. We'll be happy to help. And one thing I'm surprised about being in the industry as long as I have is the amount of scrap gold that's still out there. I largely thought that it was all bought up. I thought that it was something that our industry really cannot rely on as a viable revenue stream, but my God, was I wrong about that. Getting over $3,000 per ounce on gold really opened up those floodgates again, so there is a ton of scrap gold floating around again, which just honestly, it blows my mind. And if you want to take advantage of these prices, please, we'll be happy to help. We're going to pay you 90% of the value, no muss or fuss on it. It's a straight number, no magic to it. So if there's anything we can do for you guys and gals, please reach out to the shop. Come on in. We'll be happy to help Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon. Just one thing, I've had this conversation multiple times with people over the last month. Hey, if you want to sell a collection, we're all about that, but do us a favor. Don't show up at close to do it. Do yourself a favor and do us a favor too. You never want to bring a collection in right at close to sell. All right, just keep that in mind. But other than that, you guys and gals have a great weekend. It looks like it's going to be super wet here in Florida. It looks like the monsoon season is upon us, so lots of mowing ahead of it for us. You guys and gals have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.